tower, the second highest structure in Japan. We just finished our last quarterfinal. Osku Palermo moving through into the semis against Takeshi Suda. The other semifinal will have Koivu Niemi and Sean Rash. Let's take a look at the recently completed Geico World Series of Bowling from Las Vegas. The festivities kicked off with the Men's World Bowling Tour finals between the defending champion of this event, Mika Koivu Niemi, and his buddy Chris Barnes.
Mika could have put Chris away. He leaves a massive ringing 10. Barnes steps up, shreds the rack, takes home victory.
When they were off the lanes, it was time for the Women's WBT final.
Missy Parkin stepping up and throwing strike after strike, taking down Liz Johnson.
A big day for Missy Parkin. Then we saw Bill O'Neill in the Alka-Seltzer Plus Cold Cheetah Championship. O'Neill coming through big time.
And afterwards paying homage to our fallen brother, Tony Reyes, who won his only title on this very same pattern.
Then we saw Mika back in the championship in the PBA Viper Championship against Brad Angelo.
Mika could have put Brad away. He gets 6 on his fill shot. Brad needs 8, gets 8. Wins his second career title.
On to the PBA Chameleon Championship, a battle of the last two Chameleon winners, Scott Norton and Jason Belmonte.
Belmonte needs a hit here in the 10th frame to win. Massive messenger in front of the 10. Norton wins sitting on the bench.
On to Tom Doherty in the Bowler's Journal Scorpion Championship. Last time we saw Tommy bowled 100 on TV against Osku. 200 was going to be good enough, and Doherty wins his first ever PBA title. The stage was then set for the first PBA major of the season, the World Championship, and Parker Bone III was at his best.
Well, it was all about being in the bone zone, Lon. Look at him rolling the 3-pin forward. He's shredding racks. Parker Bone III winning his second career major.
A thrilling Geico PBA World Series of Bowling. All right, back to our action here in Tokyo. The Round 1 Japan Cup. Osku Palermo will be taking on Yoshihiro Kaji in one semifinal. Mika Koivu Niemi and Sean Rash in the other. Here is Kaji from Osaka, Japan. 41-year-old Japanese pro with 2 top 20 finishes on his tour in 2012. Kaji, the only Japanese pro left in this event. How prestigious it would be for him to win here in front of these fans. To open up our first semifinal, Kaji gets them all.
Nice break and a nice start for Kaji, who has the weight of his country on his shoulders in the world of bowling.
Kaji defeated Wes Malott in the quarterfinals, 226 to 213. And now taking on the twin Finn, Osku Palermo. Palermo defeated Takeshi Suda, 268-257. Palermo has been so strong on these lanes. That one a bit messy.
That ball never finished down the lane, leaving the 2-pin. Nice look at that two-handed style, very short abbreviated follow-through because his body is actually in the way of his arm.
Palermo trying to clean up on the right lane, and he does.
I mean, he shredded the rack in his last match. Shot after shot after shot, starting with a front 6. We never saw one ball go light. Interesting to see what kind of adjustments Osku makes after leaving the 2-pin first ball on the right lane.
Boy, if he didn't throw the ball as hard as he does, he could have found himself in severe trouble in a couple of frames in that match. Palermo trying to get back to his striking ways here on the left lane. Yeah, he knows how to do it.
It almost looks like there's been some carry down, meaning the oil's starting to move down the lane because you don't see as much ball movement or motion in the back part of the lane. That's why he left the 2-pin on the right lane. That looked real subtle into the pocket in terms of movement.
All part of the adjustments these pros have to make throughout a tournament. There is no re-stripping and re-oiling. This pattern has been torn apart. Kaji comes through with the double.
And huge difference in the way the pins topple over when you look at these two players. The power is just overwhelming. Kaji's ball hits the pins. they kind of just domino. When Osku Palermo's bowling ball hits the pins, well, it's like a photon torpedo going through them.
Does that put more pressure on a player like Kaji to pinpoint his ball?
It's intimidating.
All right, Kaji looking for the 3-bagger. Oh, 10-pin.
And again, that's a weak 10. That ball had very little motion or movement going down the lane, and that's why he left a weak 10. You can see just how tight the lanes are getting down lane.
Kaji blinks here in the 3rd. He looks to clean up on the left lane, and does.
Traditionally, Japanese players are very good spare shooters. They always constantly are working on fundamentals, and part of the fundamentals of being a good player is being a good spare shooter.
All right, so Kaji takes his seat up by 9 on Osku Palermo. Palermo in his 3rd PBA season. Palermo with that huge strike as the pins go flying. Oh boy, they should check their windshields in the parking lot after that one. Palermo, as we mentioned, won his first major. It was the PBA World Championship against Ryan Schaefer.
Yeah, he took down Ryan Schaefer, the perennial bridesmaid. A lot of folks were rooting for Ryan, but not to be. It was Palermo's day.
Osku Palermo, the first two-hander to win a PBA major. And now here in Tokyo, trying to work his way into the finals of the Round 1 Japan Cup. He's got a tough match against Kaji, leaves the 10-pin.
Boy, and it's tough to say Osku Palermo leaves a flat 10 in the same sentence, but that's exactly what happens here. You could see just the subtle movement in the back part of the lane, and even with all that power, you can see just how tight the left lane is getting.
Osku converts at the World Series of Bowling in 2012. He finished 48th in the Cheetah, 15th in the Viper, 18th in the Chameleon, second place in the Scorpion. Doherty, as you saw, won his first title, and then 20th in defense of his PBA World Championship. Osku even right now with Yoshihiro Kaji. Kaji now in the 4th, working a spare. Palermo not as dominating as he was in the quarters. Kaji with that traditional approach, 10-pin for him.
This is a pretty good shot here. The result not very good. You can see this ball hits the pins right where you would think would be the best spot to knock all 10 down. Instead, it's a ringing 10. Kaji, if he converts here, will trail by 1.
Osku doing such a disservice to Kaji, I think. I mean, it just looks like the Japanese pro is working in slow motion as he throws his ball.
That's a great analogy. It's exactly what it looks like. Even when he shoots spares, it looks like he's bowling in quicksand or mud,
yeah,
and Osku is on ice skates.
5th frame now for Kaji. 10-pin again.
And another flat 10. There's that. The left lane almost looks like there's oil in the pin deck. Look at how straight that motion is. He's lucky he got the 5 out.
So some more cleanup on the left lane. The Japanese pro defeated Wes Malott in the quarterfinals.
Skinny jeans there.
That does not build confidence. Down by 2. Now Palermo. Kaji trying to work out the kinks. Has to adjust to what's happening to these lanes. Palermo wondering why he can't get back to the form that got him here into the semis. That's what got him into the semis.
Well, you can see the motion on the right lane's completely different than the left. Right there, just that back end reaction, as you can see that bowling ball driving all 10 in the pit. He's got to figure out a way to get the ball reaction to do the same thing on this lane.
Yeah, just did not come across, but that pin action gives Palermo a double. So this semifinal match between Kaji and Osku Palermo will continue in a moment. Palermo up by just 12 after that